The Land Information Minister Eugenie yesterday approved the expansion of the Otakiri Springs water bottling plant near Whakatane. The Greens campaigned on banning new water bottling consents. Well, hundreds of commenters have lashed out on Ms Sage's Facebook page, many labelling her a sellout. She declined to speak to Morning Report today, but with us, the Green Party co-leader Marama Davidson is in the Wellington studio. Morena.
Morena, Susie.
Is she a sellout?
The law needs to be changed, and the minister's hands were tied in having to make this decision about the sale of land, not about bottling consents, but about the sale of land. It's not just the Green Party supporters, it's widespread concern about water.
Sure, but how's she not a sellout?
Because she was bound to follow the law, and that's why we want to change the law, change the Overseas Investment Act, which doesn't allow for environmental, mana whenua and local concerns to be taken into account. This
is not something you campaigned on. Indeed, you campaigned against this kind of thing. To be completely clear.
Absolutely.
But also, did Eugenie speak to the caucus about this before she had to make this decision?
Yes, we were told about the decision, and it's not normal for ministers to have to speak to their caucus about every single decision. We're very clear this does not align with Green Party kaupapa or policy or what we campaigned on, and we'll continue to push for those things we campaigned on.
And so how did you kick that about? She didn't have to tell you she did. You know, how did you wrestle with this one?
Yep, we're aware that this was a difficult decision for her and one that was going to make the public upset, understandably upset, and so this is why we're being upfront that we want to change the law.
The Overseas Investment Act says that there's got to prove, amongst other things, a substantial benefit for New Zealanders. In this case, it's 32 jobs, which will stretch out, the company says, to 60 jobs. Is that enough of a benefit?
No, that's the flaw of this law, that it puts short-term economic gain over sustainable environmental impacts and tiriti and mana whenua and local concerns, and that's exactly what we want to change.
But if you're saying it's not enough of a benefit, how then is it reasonable for Ms Sage to have made the decision?
That's the law. The criteria are a bit of crap, actually.
But you're saying it doesn't meet the criteria?
In my view, and in the community's view, those are short-term economic gains. It does meet the criteria of the law, but those are short-term economic gains.
Now, there's also people that have been speaking essentially on Facebook, commenting, saying that the non-ministerial part of the Green Party should oppose this publicly. Are you doing that forcefully enough?
Well, we dislike this decision. We've been very clear, and we will continue to gain back the trust of people who are rightfully angry about this decision.
Saying you dislike it, though, is hardly condemning it.
And we will continue to push for changes to the Overseas Investment Act, as well as a levy on current water bottling. We know that New Zealanders think it's unfair that we don't get anything from companies who are already taking our water.
How realistic is some sort of change or review to the Act?
Well, we're accountable to this decision, Susie, and so it's going to be a priority for us to push. We know that the three parties have a water levy on the table already, so we've got good ground, but this is something that we're accountable for.
Is it going to be something you're accountable for this term?
Absolutely, and so there's good ground for a water levy, and the Greens would also like to ensure that mana whenua are involved in all water take decisions and having some of the resource back from water levies as well.
Okay, so when do you think this review is going to get underway? If it's going to happen in this term, then you've got a couple of years.
The priority has been at this stage under the Overseas Investment Act to restrict offshore buyers for residential homes, so this is going to become a priority for the Green Party.
And who owns the water?
We know that Māori have proprietary, customary and kaitiaki rangatiratanga rights over water, and the Greens have always been very clear about this.
And so Māori own the water?
Ko Aotearoa, ko Te Awa, ko Au reflects that Māori have long-standing kaitiaki, proprietary and customary rights over water.
I appreciate your time this morning. Kia ora, that's Marama Davidson, co-leader of the Green Party. 22 minutes to 8 now on Morning Report. The Auckland Mayor Phil Goff